Alright, I think I might have found him on Hangout. Um, 2, not having children does not make you dead, even in the metaphorical sense. Wasn't speaking metaphorically. You are still useful. Yeah. Um, Again, useful can only be metaphorically, since there's no use. Are still useful again. Again, useful can only be used metaphorically, since there is no use. They're still. Um, there's no use. They're still, again, in evolution, because you can still help and protect siblings and their children, or simply help anyone within your tribe, because all of those beings will most likely share at least some, if not many, genes with you. Correct. That's why women live longer than men, they theorize, because grandmas can, after a man is unable to hunt or bring in the bacon another way, um, grandmothers still can help with rearing children, and that's why they believe that women have longer lifespans than men. Over all societies, women live longer than men, and they believe. I believe I've heard it from a few scientists. That's why women live longer than men. They might not be correct, but that's their theory, and I happen to agree with it. 3, even if we pretend like passing on your genes was the goal, I mean, it is. We indeed would have a good way of justifying good ethics that make us care about each other, about others. Just recently, there was discovery of spiders where females and children would take care of their children and their sisters. Oh, females without children would take care of children without sisters. Without take care of children of take care of the children of their sisters. You mean like the big sister little sister program? Because in that case, they would just be taking care of their sisters. So I'm guessing it's a big brother type organization, except big sister type organization. And game theory alone shows that game theory doesn't work for a lot of things. Uh, that many, if not most, working class together is better than working alone or against everyone else. I totally agree. I fully agree with that statement. Uh, you referred to objectivism. I guess you meant moral objectivism. Nothing I found about the position suggests that it is not also a position of a theist who thinks that objective morality exists. Well, morality exists, right? Right and wrong exist, and I do believe that morality, um, good and evil exist, right? So you could say I objectively believe in um, in morality, but when you talk about objectivists, um, I think of Ayn Rand. Just like if you're saying, well, there's a commune of people, and or that monastery lives communally, and then calling them communists. Well, when somebody says communist, I think of Marx and destruction of the family, destruction of the church, abolishment of all private property, and democide. When somebody says objectivist, I think of Ayn Rand and Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged, things like that. So maybe there was miscommunication on our part there. Um, so you either think that some kind of objectivism, well, I don't believe in objectivism, it's a philosophy, some kind of objective truth makes sense to you, or personally think that there is no objective morality. I believe things are objectively true. So yeah, and I believe in good and evil. So yeah, I believe that there are things that are objectively evil, I guess you'd say. Um, there are some people who might, disagree and say, no, I think that's beautiful, but I think they're shitting themselves. When you're standing in front of a pack of hungry lions or hungry tigers, unless you're on drugs, you're not going to say, oh, wow, this is beautiful, man. You're going to say, this is terrifying. I mean, it has to be felt, but it's objectively terrifying situation to be in. I don't see how atheists base their morality on anything. Again, on empathy, the rules here state to some degree and often are not used for me in general to care about what others want or don't want. Example, if you are an asshole, most people will not be nice to you. I agree. I don't like those people either. People who are just assholes. Um, Nor do I like manipulative people. I don't see how. Oh, okay. What Christians are you talking about? Well, you started the statement that atheists usually come out of Christian societies, and they do. So I just referred to Christianity in absolutely vague way using the word. I couldn't acoustically understand which type of Christianity you called the only real church. Which one was it? It is the Eastern Orthodox Communion, specifically the Syriac Antiochian Orthodox Church, displaced in Damascus. But wider, it's the Orthodox Church, either Oriental or Eastern Orthodox. It's fine with me. But even out of these heretical societies, which Western Europe and the Americas are in heresy, yeah, they come out of atheists when they said this is right and wrong and are against certain things. Um, their their outrage at God usually is from a Christian perspective. Um, Again, I would point to like men beating their wives, pedophilia, theft, rape, things like that. Gypsies, right? Gypsies have their own weird, secretive religions. They tend to blend into the local host religion, but they have their own secret religion where they believe that they withheld one of the nails at the crucifixion of Christ, so they get to steal. So being a thief isn't frowned upon there. It's actually seen as a great trade and talent. So yeah, Eastern Orthodoxy. Yeah, and we don't believe heaven, hell, and God for us are the same, which might be kind of mind blowing. And we don't have a closed canon of Scripture. That also might be mind blowing, as well as our priests being married. So your answer to why is wrong There is something that is forbidden in there, where X is something that is forbidden in Christianity. Is that Christianity, therefore, these rules have made our lives so much better? If I take just word for word, it does not answer why it's wrong. It only tells us why you think it's wrong. It is wrong. If I take this word for word, does it mean it does not mean why it is wrong. It only tells us why you think it's wrong. Again, that statement is kind of floating there. I don't know. In some situations, maybe, but in most situations, I would say no. Like, when grading a paper, you know, why isn't why is this wrong? Well, you wrote down superior vena cava. Well, why is it wrong? Well, because the answer is inferior vena cava. It's not really an opinion, it's kind of a fact. If you really mean it is wrong because following the rule that it is wrong made our lives better, so it will most likely also make it better in the future. Okay, then that is the answer that could also have been used by an atheist without any problem. Except it didn't. I mean, from the French Revolution to the Paris Commune to the terror in Portugal to the Spanish Civil War to the and I'm going back in time a little bit, to the Russian Revolution. Russian Revolution happened, and then the Bolsheviks took over, and you had the Holodomor, which killed between 7 and 12 million Ukrainians, on top of the 41 million Russians that Stalin had executed. You had Chairman Mao, whose death toll is, of Stalin and Hitler combined. Pol Pot killed a third of his population. Atheist regimes tend to get quite nasty. The Cristeros under Caius, the Cristero Wars, just read about them. There's a great movie called For Greater Glory. I'll actually send it to you if you'd like to view it. Yeah, it's horrifying because atheist governments aren't secular; they are atheists, and they enforce that. It could also be used by any atheist in the world. If an atheist from the future or the past had the means of knowing our history, he would become. He could also come to such a conclusion. Therefore, if this is really the way of justifying a statement, X is morally wrong, then justification of the basis on checking whether or not a certain action is helpful to society. I don't believe in the greater good. I've always been against the idea of the greater good. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Bullshit. Which is a way of deriving a position on morality that is absolutely problematic for any atheist. Similar, if not equal, argument are made by atheists. I don't understand how you cannot understand how atheists justify their position on morality if this is really all that you use to justify your position about morality. I just answered a bunch of your questions. I didn't try to justify anything. Hopefully this will upload. Usually past 15 it won't upload, but I'll make an epilogue.